Hey, hello everyone. I'm back, Mahiro the stuff, and I just made a video today. That was really cool. It was me talking to myself, but it's a different form of that. It's on YouTube. It's on my channel. I had a lot of fun making that video because it was really funny. Yeah, go watch me talking to myself. It's like 30 seconds. And today I wanted to do something different, something I wanted to do for a while but just never did, and I'm doing it now. So I was on my Parrot trip, as most of you watching this hopefully know, and there's a whole playlist. Go watch it. It's like less than 30 minutes, I think, and it details my excursions throughout the 4 days that I was there. And one of those days I was feeling like really lost. It was a day without technology. It was a day with me, with my thoughts, and really nothing else. And I was alone with my thoughts, and well, for some people that's a death sentence. For me, that's Tuesday. And I came up with a poem that I found to be quite poignant. I write poems, by the way. I love writing poems. It's really expressive and iterative. And so I decided to... I had some illustrations with it. I didn't usually do that, but I was feeling a little artsy, I suppose, that day. And so I decided to do something like this. Maybe we'll do like a landscape thing. How about that? Because it'll be easier, I think. Is it predefined? Nope. Dimensions, content. Oh, by the way, if you can't tell, I am an amateur's amateur when it comes to Krita. There we go. We like that much better. This is definitely no tutorial of any form. It's just me messing around, and I understand that drawings consist of shapes and lines that connect with each other. That's about all that we're gonna get here. I'm not Da Vinciing anything here. So if you're looking for something else, I'm sure there are a lot of tutorials out there. But this is an expression of how I feel, of the things that I do when I'm feeling how I feel, and just a lot of that. So yeah, I'm just gonna be talking, I'm gonna be drawing, I'm gonna be writing. It's interesting trying to write on a draw pad. I got this like a few months ago because I got an inspiration of just, hey, I like drawing, maybe I can do this. So it's a poem about sadness, right? And today I was sad. Happens a lot. So I ate ice cream. Strawberry shortcake, if you're wondering. The best, absolute best flavor ever. It didn't make me feel... I keep writing an M instead of an N. I don't know why. It didn't... Wait, there we go. It didn't make me feel better. But it didn't make me feel worse. I just spoiled that. Oops. Gotta get rid of that. There we go. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. I've always had a lot of emotions, right? I'm someone who's struggled with, I suppose you could say, who has struggled with a lot of emotions in the past, and I still do. I still do to this day. And The only thing that's changed for me is how I see it, how I perceive it, how I manage them. And I've come to realize that emotions are my friend. They are intense, they are uncomfortable. I can't imagine what it's like to be me, so much less other people, because I have very intense ones. I like to describe them as, you know how other people have like a dial, like a spectrum, of emotions. They usually do. I use emotion wheels in oh, actually, let's just do that. That's much better, yes. In my first version, it was going to be cross-legged, but I realized that I didn't know how to do that. In my first version, back when I was running group therapy for people, one of the things I did was, there's not enough space. Hold on, let's get rid of that. How am I supposed to fix this? I guess we'll find out. Back when I was running a group therapy session as a part of my internship requirements, hold on. That is a demonic smile, which is coincidentally right up my alley. I had, all of us needed to run individually. That's still demonic, damn it. Hold on. Nothing against it, it's just not what I'm going for. Maybe let's try adding some expressions to the face. Why can I not get, oh, that's the screen. It's the screen being. There we go. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There's this little button on my stylus that's really useful for all of that stuff, but I have no idea how to do that. What did I just draw? Okay. I think he looked better when he was a faceless facade. There we go. See, now no one can tell how you feel. So yeah, I had to run a English. I am losing my comprehension and vocabulary as we speak. And yeah, I had to run a thing, and my session was on emotions, unsurprisingly. Most things I do are. And this is the first stanza. Today I was sad, so I ate ice cream. It did make me feel better, but it didn't make me feel worse. And I think that counts for something. Because I feel like a lot of us, myself included, we come with this preconceived notion that emotions, negative emotions specifically, we're supposed to be done with it, manage it. It comes and then we get rid of them as fast as we can. We avoid them, we remove ourselves from them, and then we continue going. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Not for me. And I would hazard a guess that it's not for a lot of other people either. Emotions have this really, really intriguing concept, this essence that they have. I keep writing M. This really intriguing concept where it doesn't really ever go away if you don't address it or let it in. And it just festers. The more we suppress them, the more it bubbles to the surface. And trust me, I know all about that. I've had to do that for most of my life. But yeah, I always thought that my intense emotions were a curse in the past, because there's a lot of there's a lot of me that always wondered, like, why was I the only one that felt so deeply about so many things? Like, why could other people get over things so quickly, but anything could wreck me for days, months? And I always assumed that was a defect on my end. This is some guy dancing. Alright, well, he doesn't have Hulk arms yet. I don't really know how dancing would look. Let's see, actually. Let's just get rid of the whole thing. There we go. But yeah, everything was really intense. I had a crush on a girl for like 6 years, and boy, that taught me a lot about myself, trust me. What if I drew him leaning over? There you go. And then have him do like a can. Ooh, we like that. Something that's funny about me is that I don't really know how to draw stick figures right. There we go. That doesn't look too bad, right? Look at that, coming into form. Yup. Love the glutes. And then this one will be, I want to draw him holding a fan. There you go. Because I've learned like a Japanese choreography for dance before. It's this one that has fans, and it is exquisite. Oh man, I might make a video about that someday. Look at that. I was not expecting this to come out as well as it did, but it did. But yeah, I never knew why I felt things as deeply as others, and the whole amethyst thing. Oh boy, that was the whole thing. But over time, I realized that it was just because that they were telling me, my emotions were telling me what was wrong. And the somewhat annoying part about that is that sometimes you're in situations that you can't escape, right? Where there's no easy resolution, that you can't necessarily resolve or avoid or extract yourself from. And that's where the emotional pain continues. It's kind of like when you break an arm and you can't get it like splinted soon enough, so the pain just kind of radiates and it stays because it's telling you what's going on, what's wrong, I guess. So kind of, its emotions are kind of like that, and they were like that for me, but it was really loud. Oh man, it's a whole thing. But I guess this is the second stanza. Today I was sad, so I danced. It didn't make me feel better, but it didn't make me feel worse. And to come back to what I was talking about regarding things that unpleasant emotions, I find that sometimes we just want to get rid of them, and when we don't get rid of them, we try harder, right? Some people work a lot, some people exercise a lot, some people curl up in their beds and hope that this thing will pass and that they'll never have to deal with it again. And sometimes we discount. Oh, are we back? Yes, we're back. I'm probably gonna cut that entire part out because it was technical difficulties. My sound card died. But as I was saying, we are very quick to discount what doesn't work immediately. When something doesn't work, and I've seen this in therapy as well, people want to not feel anymore. They want to solve their problems. They no longer want to be feeling the anxiety or the depression or the anger or the despair or the grief, right? And that's perfectly understandable. The emotions that we feel that are important to us they are rarely enjoyable. And so I feel like there's a part of us that wants it to leave post haste. So I played games. And it has been my experience that processing emotions, doing what you like sometimes I've heard this from people before, that when we ask them like, what do you want to do, what do you like to do, and they say like it doesn't help, right? The things that they want to do. Anhedonia, it's a very common symptom of depression, where you no longer gain any sort of pleasure or stimuli from the things that you previously did. It's one of the indicators for depression. Chronic depression will be about 6 months, I believe, according to DSM-5. Of course, it's different for everyone, but a 6-month consecutive, or at least a 6-month duration where it continues to happen of anhedonia, amongst other symptoms, could be a symptomatic of depression. But and then for those that may feel anxious, or it may be a temporary circumstance, right? And it doesn't like think when we're stressed, we sometimes lose sight of things, right? When we have 6 billion things to do in the world, it doesn't feel right if we just sit down and do nothing, like play games or do whatever we want. So I've come to realize that just because something doesn't make it feel better, see, it's every single time I have done this. This is the third stanza, and it is the third consecutive time that I have made the exact same mistake. And you know what? Make away. That doesn't say anything more or less about me. It didn't make me feel better, but it didn't make me feel worse. You know, like pouring my heart out on a journal, or reading, or dancing, or sleeping. It did make me feel better, but sometimes it doesn't. But it doesn't make me feel worse. And I feel like the acknowledgement of that, is something we discount a lot sometimes. That just because something doesn't make us feel better immediately means it holds no value within our life. And of course, that's not necessarily true. There are plenty of things that we do or see or am or witness that we don't necessarily. I do a lot of chicken scratch stuff because slight tangent, if you didn't know, I started off drawing with, what is that? Nope. I started off drawing with pen, like not pencil, just straight pen. I don't really know why I did that. I just did. Okay, this guy either has like jetpacks for arms, or like I am wrecking this pickleball paddle. I like pickleball. It's like if badminton and tennis had like an illegitimate child, but then the illegitimate child was actually conceived with table tennis instead. But then tennis wanted to be a part of the child's like life, so pickleball was invented. And yeah, so it was a lot of that. Anyways, pickleball, it's really fun. I like it. And so let's see, how do I draw this part? There we go. I'm learning perspective, and boy, like side profiles, like 90 diagonal profiles, it slays me every time. Because you see here, I wanted to make it look like it's like, okay, if I extended this, maybe it looks a bit more like that. I'll come back to the what's it called, the discounting what makes us feel good thing later. But yeah, so if I extend this, there we go. Oh, this actually works. At some point that'll be useful. If we extended this a little bit here, and then this, There we go. There we go. See, that's a little messier, but it works. But yeah, what was I saying? Yes, when something doesn't work immediately, we tend to discount it very quickly, and I feel like sometimes it cheapens the thing that it has done for us before. You know? No. Like, just because something doesn't work as well as it did before doesn't mean it's not working. I used to make the same mistake all the time. There we go. Today, I was sad, so I played games. It didn't make me feel better, but it didn't make me feel worse. And I think, I'm using black a lot. Maybe I should start experimenting with other colors. Let's start doing that. Why not, right? We have the world's palette at our fingertips, and we insist upon a black onyx, which is perfectly fine on its own. I'm very partial towards black, actually. It's one of my favorite colors. But why not stop and paint the roses, right? Once in a while. Never know what you might get. Okay. Here's where I'm gonna pretend I know what I'm doing. I like red. We can go red. There you go. Red, maroon. Ooh, I like maroon. I play Warframe, so if you know me, black, white, red. It's just the colors I use for everything. They all end up looking like bloody Santa Clauses, which, hey, works for my causes. And I think a big part of what I'm doing. Okay, can you like go away yet? There you go. 11.87 pixels. It's fine. Okay, so what's the next one? We all feel very deeply about our emotions. I have come to understand that as truth now. And I've been really like adrift lately. There we go. Ooh, maroon. Be still my maroon heart. Today I was sad, and I have a lot of sad days. And I've been lonely and adrift and not knowing what to do, and I recently had my heart has been broken again. Not by anyone's measure this time, not like directly. I didn't break up with anyone, but an old wound was torn asunder once more, and yeah, that's a lot of sad days. That is a lot of sad days. Well, that's okay. It doesn't feel very good. Yes, I got the N right this time. I feel like that's a personal victory. Doesn't feel very good. But it doesn't feel worse. You know, for my first foray into Krita, I think I'm doing pretty well. And the thing about hair is that I've watched some tutorials online, and they always tell me not to draw, to draw them in a specific, like, with, in sections, not in strands, which I could never get my head around until I actually started doing it, and I was like, oh my god, they're right. They're absolutely right. Because I was like, how could you draw hair that is a section, like a clump? That doesn't make sense. Hair is usually pretty, like, it's pretty strandy. There's a lot of strands of hair that we have. I think we all would agree with that. But it's pretty true where, ooh, girl, I like this. I'm drawing guys, by the way, which is really strange because I usually draw girls. Like, I usually draw the female form. I just find them much more tantalizing than a guy. Notice I'm a guy, so I look at my form all the time. But anyways, oops. And I guess, yeah, I've been really lonely and sad because I, yeah, my heart has reopened its wounds. And oh, that's really nice, actually. I was not expecting it to look this nice. Good job, me. You go. That's really nice. Crying down ice crystals. Yes, we love that. Today, I was sad. That's a lot of sad days. That's okay. It doesn't feel very good. But it doesn't feel worse. And there's a lot of times where I've been contemplating, like, you know, the age-old adage of, you know, will I ever find someone else? Is anyone else gonna like me? And oops. And then there are anxieties I have about the future, and regrets and guilt I have of the past. Well, the anxiety is just, you know, if I will find anyone else, because I would like to. It's a part of me that I'd like to explore and ideally share with someone else. And then there's the part of me that's like, that sometimes wanders back into the past and about what happened. It was pretty messy, I'll be honest. It wasn't the best arrangement for either of us. But I catch myself sometimes still saying, like, why, you know? Why did she do that? And I won't ever have my answer. That's the thing I feel like a lot of us struggle with. I definitely struggle with it, where there's a lot of things that hurt, a lot of people that hurt you, or make you feel hurt, or you feel hurt because of them. I like that last one the best because it's the most non-proverbial guilt placing. We can feel what we feel, and other people can be the reason we feel the way we feel. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's their fault. Although in this case, I feel like it's her fault because she did do stuff that hurt me. But yeah. And I've found that most of my life has kind of just been looking for solace in myself. I didn't think it would pass. But it did. I don't know what I titled this one. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. And for this one, it's some nondescript person. We like a nondescript person. I'm sure I'm going to ruin this somehow, but I'm just going to continue doing it. But yeah, what is that at the top? Oh boy. Okay, the proportions leave much to be desired. There we go. That's much better. And yeah, and nowadays it's a lot of me making peace with myself about who I am, that how I define myself, you know. I do my best to I've been doing a lot of chicken scratches. I wonder what happens if I don't. If I just hold on. What? How would you do 12? X 2 Lamau. Okay. There we go. That took a long time to get, but I got there. 3, and then 6. I've been watching Arcane. It's really good. Go watch it. And then this is 9. There we go. But I did. Today, I'm still sad. It felt like, I missed one. Like I was in a prison. In a prison. There we go. I didn't think it would pass, but it did. Because ultimately, what I believe is that my happiness cannot depend on another person. It's true. It's true for many things in life. And once, no, not yet. Not yet. Let's, nope. Don't erase, sir. Go back to this. What other colors can I experiment with? What are they? I swear there are more colors than this. There are more colors than this, right? There are. Yes, there are. There we go. That's better. It's gotta come from inside. It has to be. And while I don't necessarily agree with the adage of you have to love yourself before someone else can love you, I don't necessarily agree with the entirety of the statement. I agree with the underlying precept of the reason why that saying is how it is because by loving yourself first, you have to know what makes you happy before someone else can fill whatever spaces is left or a desire that you have without knowing yourself. The key to this is you have to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you're gonna get into situations where it may not necessarily benefit you as much as it can. I'm still sad, but it doesn't feel as sad as before. It doesn't. And here's my experience with that. The sadness doesn't necessarily diminish. It's just my ability to contain and feel it without it killing me. In a colloquialism, my resilience has increased in that sense. That's nice. It comes in waves. And that's okay. So I guess a part of me also wonders, whoever's watching, whoever you are, how is motion like for you? What relationship do you have with your emotions? Do you like them? Hate them? Think they're a waste of time? Think they're a necessity? There's no right or wrong answer to any of this, I don't think. Yes. The waves, they can be confounding, complex, criticizing, but that's okay. I will be here. To endure it all. Because I already have. And I'll be okay. Today, I'm still sad. But it doesn't feel as sad as before. That's nice. It comes in waves. And that's okay. And I find myself waking up sometimes not wanting to deal with the next day. It hasn't happened in a very long time, but back when it was really, I was like, I do not want to deal. I did not want, I might be sad. I stayed up as late as possible, which it's a habit that has continued to stay with me. It is now 1:37 a.m. as I speak. And I just wanted to stay up because it was the only time at night where everyone was asleep. I didn't have to worry about anything bad happening. Is my only time, the alcove, a cranny of peace, of solemnity of my own. Sadness is my friend. Yes. All my emotions are my friends, all of them. And it tells me what's wrong. Oops, I just wish it wasn't so loud all the time. See, the ends of hair I completely bulk on. Oh, I'm about to sneeze, I think. Unless I'm not. No, I am. I'm about to sneeze. Matthew. Bless me. Bangs. Side scrolling bangs. It's like, that's a whole other region of exploration. And this hair is like, it's a mop. It is a mop, and we are going to enjoy the fact that it's a mop. Okay. Gonna have to get rid of this. And drawing is... I started drawing like a few years ago at this point, and I am still like rudimentary. I would not consider myself good in any form. My sadness is deep and loud and oily and persuasive and persistent and sad. Tomorrow, I might be sad. Sadness is my friend. It tells me what's wrong. I just wish it wasn't so loud all the time. There is a lot of stanzas. I wrote this a lot. Am I sad today? There are some parts of me that was sad today. There are. I was also happy today. Yes, I was happy today. What happened today? Yes, I was happy today. I was also angry today. I have a lot of emotions in most days, and I think it's nice. I think it's nice that I have them. Some of them were because I was thinking about my past relationships. Some of them was because I had to deal with like a bank thing. Someone took my money. It was a whole thing. Some of that was just being thankful for who I am and what I'm doing. I went to the gym today. It was really nice. I don't go to the gym a lot, so it was a good like hour plus workout. Oh, it was so good. I ran for like 30 minutes. What else am I today? I'm me. I talk a lot. I scroll Reddit for 6 hours. It's the whole thing. Looking for jobs. Because, whoops, let's just get rid of that. Because people, yeah, because people didn't choose me. I like this one. It's painful in a very deep way. When you haven't been chosen your whole life, or if when you're made to not feel important for your whole life, it's pretty easy to feel that way for most of it. Because a person's childhood years are foundational to their essence, to their being. And if we take a page from reality therapy, it's one of the 5 key aspects of life. There's survival, there's freedom, there's love and relationships, there's work, and then there's love and belonging. There we go. And then there's work, I believe, like meaningful contribution, and I forgot what the last one was. And in reality therapy, one of the core tenets is that if a person does not have an adequate allotment of each of these 5, most times in their life, entertainment is the 5th one. I think I'm confusing it with something else. If they don't have the required allotment for each of them, most of the time it will end up that we usually go on a lifelong, possibly self-destructive search to fulfill those needs. And for me, that's love and belonging. Coincidentally, it's also the one of the 5 that has probably one of the most profound impacts on a person. Surprise, surprise. When you don't feel loved, everything else falls apart. And unwanted. Yes, I feel unwanted. It's something I grapple with a lot, although I'm pretty cool, so I think I'm pretty cool. If you don't want me, it's your loss. I want me. I choose me all the time. So I wrote a poem about it. I wrote this poem, and this is the exact style that I rendered this specific piece in, and I will honor its style. And this is my notebook that I bring with me wherever I go. It's rapidly approaching its sunset years, which is a great thing because that means I've been using it. And then we add a light bulb because it was a good idea. Ding! There we go. Click, 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 click. I like just drawing without anything. There you go. Look at you go, little man. Yes, leap for joy, me. Leap for joy. Today, I'm sad because people didn't choose me. I feel lonely and despaired and unwanted. So I wrote a poem about it. I do that with a lot of my emotions, mostly sad, because sadness is where most poets flourish. Van Gogh, but Van Gogh wasn't a poet, he was an artist. I wonder what he would hear, I wonder what he would say if he could hear that. And going back to my favorite color. Hello, black. Nope. There we go. You know, it did help. Helped a little. Click. Thanks, me. Thanks, me. That was nice. and then I draw this. I was really inspired when I drew this, and I was just like, oh, that's such a good representation. In case this subtlety is lost on anyone, this is the ASL version of thank you, which is putting your fist against your heart and then rubbing it in a circular fashion, usually clockwise. It helped a little. Thanks, me. Feel sad. Yeah, I feel sad after going through all of that, and I feel happy because I made a video. For some reason, making content like video content, audio content, for me, it just comes really naturally. I don't know what it is. In like years past, I probably would have some form of jitters or like the same anxiety people have about like putting themselves online. But now, for some reason, at this point in my life, I just don't. It's just, this is me. I would like to see me. I think having a record of myself is pretty cool. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, thanks for watching, for listening, for just hearing me talk. I like talking, and I think I speak pretty well. So I hope you enjoyed it. What shall we name this piece? What shall we name this piece? What shall I name this piece? Today I'm sad. Done. Today I'm sad. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Let's go back to the basic one, shall we? Basic one. I'm sad. Cling. Today I'm sad. Yay! Today I'm sad. That means I feel. That means I cared. That means I cared about something that was really close to me and now I don't have it anymore, which means that thing was really important to me. And something being important to you it's a gift to me, man. It's a privilege, it's a fortune, because it is only knowing, having known something, having felt something so deeply that it has lodged itself in a space in your soul. Only then can you feel that void when it excises itself from you. Thanks for watching and listening. For more, you know where to find me.